Okay, I'd like to tell you a little bit more about the Search Console. As you can see, it basically is set up to look at a number of things: landing pages, countries, devices, and queries. And as we mentioned earlier, you have the ability to look at various what we call metrics. So this is the number of clicks, the number of impressions, the number of the click-through rate, and the average position of the search. You have a list of what the search queries are here, and you have various things like a secondary dimension. So this is the main dimension, how to do business, and this is the metrics here. And as you can see, we can effectively change the ones that we want. So that up here, we're now plotting the average position against the click-through rate, which is this, so that we have a sort of certain amount of latitude over how we actually investigate it. We could also effectively show the same information in different ways. It can be shown here as data, it can be shown as percentages, it can be shown as a bar chart, it can be shown as plus or minus comparisons, it can be shown as a term cloud, and it can be shown as a pivot table. We can also, if we were looking at the secondary dimension, was in fact, if we were looking at the geographical side of things, we could show it as a map. So here we're saying that the secondary dimension at the moment is medium. It can be source, or it could be source and medium. So if we go to source and medium, you can see that the source is Google and the medium is organic. Now they're all that way because there is no paid search for this particular site. But you can see that most of this is to do with how to do business. But whole brain intelligence is something which people look for because there is some information on a psychometric tool here, and there's also a certain amount of traffic for an entrepreneurial business plan, which is one of the things that we could be looking at here. So as you can see, you've got a fair amount of flexibility in the way in which you show things. If we look at this as percentages, it effectively shows what the sources of the things are by the different sources. You can show it as a word cloud, which looks like this. So how to do business is the main thing, and other things are there. So if we went to, in terms of queries, that's quite interesting. We could do a similar thing probably with landing pages. So again, this comes back to the default. We're currently measuring clicks, but we could look at the impressions, and we could look at it via the click-through rate. So that's now giving us the number of impressions and the number of clicks on a daily basis. And if you look at what we've actually got here in terms of the landing pages, after the home page, the next one is a specific download, which has obviously remained very popular. It's got 4% of the total impressions. It's had 11 clicks, and it has a decent number of conversions. So you can see it gives us all the information in terms of acquisition, in terms of behaviour, and in terms of conversions. Now there's not much conversion going on in this site because fundamentally there's very little selling going on through here, but it does effectively show us which of these pages and which of these things are most important. We can do the same thing with countries, and it shows us there's a lot of traffic here comes from India. We can effectively show the second. We can show the landing page with the host name. We can show medium source and medium again. And again, in this particular case, they're all likely to be Google and and organic. We can do the same with devices. Which divides it into mobile, desktop and tablet. And it's interesting how much mobile traffic there is even to a business-to-business site like this. So we go back to the landing pages. So what I would like you to do now is effectively go into the demonstration site and basically play around with this, get a feel of it. Think about what kind of questions you might ask for this. Think about how you can get useful information for your own businesses out of this by playing around with the different dimensions and metrics. And then we can discuss that with the tutor in the support sessions.